Jaclyn Hill is once again being called out, but this time, it's for the people she's actively supporting and trying to throw shade at other creators. It's a mess, so let's get into it. I think we can all agree that this year probably wasn't the best year for Jaclyn's career. Not only have past business partners been airing out exactly how Jaclyn treated them and tried to ruin their brands, but Jaclyn herself has lost her own brands. Jaclyn's dream has always been to have a successful cosmetics brand, but after Lipstickgate, she never fully recovered. She went on to try and branch out and open other brands like jewelry and loungewear, but we all know how those went. You could just tell they were one big cash grab and were never Jaclyn's passion or her focus. Every brand that Jaclyn has ever opened has always gone on to have major drama surrounding it. If it wasn't ripping off other artists' designs or selling overpriced pajamas, it was stealing a brand name from a fellow creator and putting them out of business. When Jaclyn announced the closure of her two companies a few months ago, she also admitted that the future of her makeup brand is still unknown. This year, we learned that Jaclyn lied about her ever owning Jaclyn Cosmetics. We know Forma owns it, Forma just went through a major bankruptcy, and the new owners have admitted that their influencer partnerships are no longer their main priority. Both Morphe and Forma have started to shift their focus to Gen Z and influencers that appeal to a younger audience, and unfortunately for Jaclyn, her brand isn't cutting it. Jaclyn has admitted to not putting any effort into Jaclyn Cosmetics, and that's obvious by her launches. For years, her brand was so highly anticipated. Jaclyn was the top beauty guru on YouTube. Everyone knew that her brand would be amazing, and while I have heard good things about some of her products, she's still ending up on the shelves of winners. We could talk all day long about why her makeup brand is failing, but I think it's because of two main reasons. One, people no longer trust her and don't want to give their money to her, and two, her lack of passion. We all know Jaclyn could sell anything to anyone, but it really has felt like she's given up on her own brand. I couldn't tell you the last time I heard of anyone raving about anything Jaclyn has launched. She usually puts out these generic campaigns for her drops, and then you never hear about them ever again. At this rate, Jaclyn's brand is heading towards closure, and you would think Jaclyn would be doing anything she could to save it and her image, but instead, she's only dragging herself even further down. This week, Jaclyn posted a new video showing her trying out makeup that people have been asking her to try, and I was watching the video expecting to see some popular makeup launches that everyone's been talking about on TikTok, but instead, Jaclyn decided to pull out a product from Painted. Jaclyn gave a shout out to James for his new Painted sponge, and she said she has no idea why people aren't talking about it.
Okay, I'm going to be using the James Charles Painted Beauty Sponge. You guys, I already used this once. It is amazing. I do not think enough people are talking about this sponge actually. Everyone's talking about his Painted collection, his eyeliners, but this sponge is so freaking bomb. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead.
Everyone is not talking about his eyeliners. In fact, I've hardly seen any reviews. Whenever I try and search up Painted reviews, it's all videos from weeks ago from people who were either sent the stuff or bought it out of curiosity and wanted to do a review. Pretty much every review I've seen has been horrible as well.
Did I do something wrong? I mean, I'm not even that oily.
James is literally having a lipstick gate of his own right now. Everyone's been reporting finding hard balls inside the paint, dried up product, the tubes are being shipped out not sealed properly, it's exploding everywhere, and if you do happen to get a product that's still usable, once it dries down, it's cracking and flaking off. No one is impressed by a Painted beauty sponge, Jaclyn, and no one is supporting James in this launch. Jaclyn is literally being dragged in her comment section for using her platform to promote James's products. Here's what people had to say. Love you, girl, but don't understand why you're still associating and supporting James Charles and being confused why nobody is talking about his brand. Girl, he's a whole girl. The James Charles plug was disappointing. Why are people still supporting him? He admitted to it. Desperate? Please. I was so excited for this video, but seriously, James Charles? How can anyone support him? You would think with the way that Jaclyn's reputation is right now, she would maybe steer clear of publicly supporting influencers like James, but here she is using a generic sponge that's probably no better than any other fake beauty blender sponge out there, giving Painted a free promotion. That's not the only thing in this video that people are calling out. Jaclyn decided to make a shady comment about Raw Beauty Christy. She was trying out the Makeup by Mario concealer and she started talking about whether it's crease proof, and she said people will do the most and use a microscope to look at it.
Okay, y'all, this is blending out very nicely. And I know that he says like it's crease proof, it's all of that. And I know people will do the most. I mean, literally people will pull out microscopes. We've been there, okay?
And you just know this was shade towards Christy. Christy was the one who got her microscope out during Lipstick Gate and showed us all the truth about what was in those lipsticks. Her video was seen by everyone, and that's what really pushed Jaclyn's lipsticks into the spotlight. We could see all the bumps, all the hairs, all the little hard balls. It was actually terrifying to look at. Clearly, Jaclyn is still holding a grudge towards Christy for doing that and showing us all what was truly in those lipsticks. I don't think Jaclyn has ever talked about that video in detail before, so it makes me wonder if maybe she feels comfortable shading her now because she knows Christy is in some trouble right now. Christy got called out a few weeks ago for still following James and liking his pictures and his painted pictures. You guys know, Christy has always called morally wrong things out on her platform. She's very outspoken about issues and issues with other influencers. So a lot of people found her support for James to be pretty out of character for her. I mean, you would expect that from some other influencers, but the last person I would ever expect that from is Christy. I think she ended up claiming that she didn't know about James and what happened because she was going through things in her personal life during that time, which I guess is fair. But I mean, I feel like by now you would have caught on. Maybe it's just my TikTok algorithm, but I can't scroll on TikTok without seeing videos of James to this day being called out. A lot of people have been asking Christy to address it, but so far, she's been ignoring it. So there's a lot of issues surrounding James right now, and people are on the lookout for what creators are making videos supporting Painted. I have seen a lot of smaller creators reviewing Painted and giving it a glowing review, even when it comes out like this.
Planner. I think this could be a faulty one. It's just, okay, maybe it needs a bit of a shake, but it's hella liquidy. I don't think this is meant to be this liquidy.
I think that's just them trying to get reposted and get some kind of attention from James. There's no way anyone using paints that come unsealed, watery, with hard clumps in them are saying that they're good. We've heard that this lab James was using had really bad reviews, and now we're seeing the outcome of cheaping out and going with a bad lab. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about everything down below, and I'll see you next time.